How many meals can we get from one whole chicken that we cut up into fryer parts and put in the freezer? Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you are with Grammy in the kitchen. So this morning I got up and I was like, I want soup. I want some soup really bad. But I didn't plan ahead. I didn't take nothing out of the freezer to make the soup. So what I decided to do is take one of our whole cut up chicken that we keep in the freezer, and we call those fryer parts. I took it straight from the freezer, put it in a 3-gallon stock pot, covered them with water, and had them boiling. It took 1 hour and 45 minutes from frozen to done. I took all the chicken out of the chicken water, had them sitting on the counter until they cooled off. Now we're ready to go ahead and cut this chicken up into pieces and see how many dinners we can get from this one chicken. So this chicken was frozen, boiled in some water. Now we're ready to remove the bones and cut up the meat. I'm not saving the skins, but I will save the bones. And when I put this in the water, I didn't add no salt, no pepper, no aromatics. It was just chicken and water. So that's all the meat from that one chicken. We're going to save the bones, but we're not going to save the skin we pulled off. I'm just going to put this in the refrigerator until we're ready. Yesterday and this morning, I fed the sourdough starter, but I took out what I didn't need. I only left 200 grams each time. Everything I took out, and I put it in a mason jar, and I'm keeping this in the refrigerator. The crackers we made on how I have a no waste kitchen, I absolutely love. So a lot of this is going to turn into crackers, but some of it I'm going to turn into dumplings. I try to look on the internet for a sourdough discard recipe for dumplings, for chicken and dumplings, but everything I've found calls for baking powder. I don't have any baking powder. I am out. Unacceptable, but I am out. But we're going to make it anyway. I found some recipes that you can use baking soda and cream of tartar. Cream or tartar. Cream or tartar? Is it tartar or tartar? Leave a comment below and tell me which one that is. We're going to make up this recipe as we go. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to learn this together. It's either going to be a success or a failure. But our March challenge is using sour discard instead of throwing it away. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to start off with about 4 cups of flour. I'm going to add a good pinch of salt and pepper. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a half teaspoon of cream of tartar. We'll whisk that together. So this is nothing but sourdough discard. I do want to measure about 2 cups of discard, and it is cold. I thought I had a spatula. Did not do that. Now I do. Like I said, we're making this up as we go. Here's a little bit of sour cream. I'm gonna put in about 1/4 cup. I am eyeballing that. I have a stick of butter, 4 ounces, melted and cooled. And if this is too much liquid, we'll add some more flour. It'll be just fine. But I want to get the sour cream, the starter, and that butter well combined. Let's put that in our dry ingredients. Mix that in really well. Okay, I think that's going to be too dry. I'm going to add just about 1/4 cup of milk. All right, let's see if we can get this all combined without adding any more liquid to it. We'll cut it in half, just so it's a smaller piece for us to work with. It's a very tough dough, but I'm hoping this will turn out just fine. All right, this half is coming together. All right, let's work on the other half. All right, let's put it together. All right, that looks good. We'll put it back in the bowl. We're going to cover it, and I'm just going to leave it on the counter. It's actually warm today in the kitchen. I'm just going to leave it on the counter and just let it ferment the flour with that sourdough discard. We'll give it 2 hours and see what we got after that. We'll put my discard back in the refrigerator, because I do want to make crackers. If not today, definitely tomorrow. And I fed my sourdough this morning. That's where it was. And you can see where it's risen so far. I'm not ready to make bread with it yet. I want it to at least double in size, but I do want to make a loaf of artisan bread. Let me get the kitchen reset. The dough has been sitting on the counter for 3 hours. I'm just going to do it a quick knead so the dough doesn't look as shaggy. It is coming together perfect. I think we did good. It doesn't have that sour fermented smell that I'm looking for. So I think I'm just going to put this in the refrigerator and we'll take care of this tomorrow. That way it has time to ferment slowly. So the bowl with the chicken, the bowl with the dumplings, and the pot with the chicken water, Everything is in the refrigerator. We're just gonna have chicken and dumplings tomorrow. So after we made our sourdough discard dumplings yesterday, I put this in the refrigerator so I can do an overnight fermentation. I took it out first thing this morning, which was 6 o'clock. It is now 9 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and get this rolled out. I took the chicken water that the chicken was cooked in, got that on the stove. I still need to defat that, but let's just do the dumplings first. I do want to cut it down to some manageable pieces. Put a little bit of flour on our station, on our workbench. We're going to roll these out until about a 1/4 inch thick. If you don't feel like making dumplings, just go to the store and pick up some egg noodles. But we love chicken and dumplings. I have some flour on a flexible cutting mat, so when I put the dumplings over there, they're not going to stick to the mat. And I'm cutting about 3/4 inch to about 1 inch square. And I'm just going to repeat until all the dough is cut into dumplings, and then we'll move to that chicken water. All the dumplings are cut, and here's the chicken water. And I do want to get some of that fat that is solidified on the top. Remove that. I have the wide slided spoon. Just want to go ahead and pick up any of the impurities, just so I don't have to strain it through a cheesecloth. Put it on the stove. And we're going to let that heat up. This is the whole chicken that we cooked in this water, deboned, and have all the meat right here. We'll put about 1/3 of this chicken in here. That looks good. We're going to put this back in the refrigerator, and we just need to get this hot, boiling, and ready to go. It's heating up, but it's not boiling yet. Now remember, we didn't add no salt or pepper to the chicken in this chicken water. I want to go ahead and season it with salt and pepper. If you watched my videos in the past, you know we put carrots, celery, onions, and different kind of frozen vegetables in here. I'm gonna be making just plain chicken and dumplings. So we have chicken, chicken water, and dumplings. And this is one of the heavy creams that I showed you on the last video of our grocery haul plus the Azure Hall. I'm gonna go ahead and put this whole pint in here. We'll add the dumplings as soon as this comes up to a boil. I don't normally put heavy cream in my chicken and dumplings, but if you saw in the last video where we were gifted 2 pints of heavy cream that was very close to the expiration date, I don't want to lose them. So that's the only reason we put it in there, just to add another depth of flavor, some creaminess, and we're just having plain chicken and dumplings. Dumplings is sitting right there, waiting on us. That is a sourdough discard dumpling recipe that we just made up together in this kitchen. But if they turn out good, I'll put the recipe below. If they don't, we will definitely try this again, but with bacon powder instead of the cream of tartar. Always give it a try. It's either going to be a failure or a success. And the only way you're going to know is just get in there and do it. I tasted it and it needs a lot of attention. So I have some garlic powder. We'll put about a teaspoon. And onion powder, again, a teaspoon. Needs a lot of salt. And some pepper. Much better. I'm going to go ahead and bring the dumplings closer to the stove so that once this comes up to a boil, we can drop in those dumplings. It is starting to come to a simmer. Let's go ahead and add the dumplings. Now we don't want to dump these in all at one time. We're going to drop them in one at a time so they don't clump up together. Gently give them a stir until they get established. And I'm dropping them on the slotted spoon so it doesn't splash back and burn me. For the dumplings are puffing up, and that is exactly what we want. That's all the dumplings. We want that to simmer until those dumplings are done, which will probably take about 20 minutes. You can see that they have risen to the top, and then as they cook and soak up some of that liquid, they start sinking to the bottom. That's when we need to be careful that it's not sticking to the bottom of this pot. It's been cooking for 10 minutes. I'm going to taste it for seasoning. It needs a lot of salt. And you got to remember, I use Redmond's real salt. It's not just sodium, and it has vitamins and minerals in here. And it takes a little bit more salt to flavor whatever we're cooking or eating, because it's not just sodium, it's salt. Oh, much better. I'm going to give that another 10 minutes and then we'll check it again. But look at that, it's beautiful. We are at 20-minute mark. I am going to turn it down to way low just so it doesn't boil over. But I do want to test one of these dumplings. Let's see. That looks good. They have good flavor. They're a little dense, more than I like. I'm gonna let those continue to cook, and then we'll check it periodically about every 5 to 10 minutes. I'll let you know how long that took. But I like my dumplings light and fluffy. And I usually get that when I make regular dumplings with the flour and the butter that I mix in, not melted butter. And I put a little baking soda and baking powder. Well, you know we're out of baking powder, so we kind of fudged this recipe. Flavor is good. I don't like how dense those dumplings are. So the dumplings have been cooking in this water for 30 minutes. It is super hot. Very creamy. Let's see if it was a success. So the dumplings was a sourdough discard recipe that we made up. Like I said before, we did not have any baking powder. I used a little bit of cream of tartar and some baking soda. And the sourdough discard with just a little bit of milk to get everything incorporated. Let's taste this. So the dumplings did lighten up some. And I've never had heavy cream in my dumplings before, but that's actually really good. And the only reason we did that is because we had those 2 pints that we have to use before it expires. Is this my favorite chicken and dumpling soup? No. Would I make it again? Yes, but we will tweak this recipe a little bit more. I do like the flavor of the heavy cream in the sauce, but as for the sourdough discard dumplings, we need to work on that. We will eat this. It will not go to waste, but we need to work on those dumplings. Don't get me wrong, it is good, but it's not where I want it. Stick around, we're gonna do another recipe using some of that chicken that we cooked yesterday. The next thing we're gonna make with that whole chicken that we cooked is an easy snack. We're gonna make a chicken pinto bean rice tortillas. And then we're gonna put these in the freezer, and then if somebody needs a quick lunch or just something to hold them over until the next meal, take them out of the freezer, pop them in the microwave for about a minute maybe, and then you have a quick lunch. So I went ahead and cooked the rice. I'm gonna show the clip right here. So I went ahead and took the Instant Pot out. I have a cup of rice, a tablespoon of Fajita Seasoning, half a teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of pepper, and a quart of stock. That is actually a turkey chicken stock, but any kind of stock of your choice. Make sure everything is well blended. Top on. Rice button. 12 minutes, we'll have rice. So once that 12 minutes was up on the Instant Pot, we turned it off. We let it sit in there for about another 10 minutes. Then we manual release the pressure. Now we're ready to get started. So the rice, the Fajita seasoning, and the chicken broth is ready to come out. We're going to dump it into this bowl. And I did taste it, and it is cooked perfect. So this is what's left of our chicken after we made chicken and dumplings. I'm going to take about half of this. That's about good. We're going to put this back in the refrigerator until the next meal. But I do want to break these up just a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to run the knife through. Right inside the rice. So we have a can of pinto beans that I drained and rinsed. Just want to give them a little smash. I'm not trying to pulverize them or make it into a paste. Just want to break the beans down just a bit. So I'm just using the back of the fork. Just dump that into our mixture. So we have the chicken, the rice, and the pinto beans. I have a can of green chilies. Some tomato paste. I'm gonna put 1 heaping tablespoon. Let's taste it for salt and pepper. All right, you need some salt. Just a pinch of pepper. And a little bit of fajita seasoning. This is a homemade fajita seasoning. I'll leave a recipe in the description below on how I make mine. When you open up a can of tomato paste and you do not use it all, you can freeze it. Now just take a tablespoon, put it on some parchment paper, and I put it in a Ziploc bag. This just happens to be one of those silicone reusable bags, but use what you have. And we're gonna put this in the freezer, and next time we need tomato paste, we'll take out one of these. Each one's roughly a tablespoon. And now we're ready. So I have a bag of tortillas I took out of the freezer. Sharp cheddar cheese that we just grated up, put in the freezer just last week. So I'm gonna put a tortilla, some of our rice mixture with the chicken, the beans, the green chilies, tomato paste, salt and pepper, fajita seasoning, a little bit of cheese. I'm not making these burrito style. I'm just rolling them up and leaving the ends open. Right, so we have 8 tortillas. I do have some rice chicken mixture left over. I might take another pack of tortillas out of the freezer. That way I don't waste that. So I'm gonna wrap it up in parchment paper. And now we have 8. So all we have to do is take however many we want to eat, put it in the refrigerator, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. We could throw it in the microwave. I like wrapping my things in parchment paper. That way it's a microwave or oven ready. And I don't have to worry about taking plastic wrap off or other kind of papers to be able to heat my food. I can heat it up in this parchment paper. So we'll put this in the freezer, and we'll get the other stack of tortillas out of the freezer so I can finish those. So after those tortillas thawed out, we went ahead and finished the rest of that rice chicken mixture. I did leave 2 out. I'm having that for lunch today. But we ended up with the first original package of 8 plus 6 more, and I have 4 in this bag. So we have 10 going in the freezer and 2 we're gonna have now. Let's taste this and see if it's any good. And I just microwaved them for about a minute and a half in the parchment paper. Ooh, cheesy goodness. You can taste that fajita seasoning, the pinto beans, perfect amount of cheese. The green chilies give it just a little bit of spiciness to it, but it's not hot, not like pepper hot. That is actually really good. I like taking things we have in our house, in our pantry, in our freezer, and making healthy, delicious, beautiful foods and snacks. Go ahead and sit down and enjoy my lunch. The next one is going to be even better. So the next meal we're going to make with that one chicken, it's fettuccine alfredo with chicken. So simple. You know, we save the heavy cream from our weekly milk share, put it in the freezer until we need it. I went ahead and took one out yesterday. Chicken's still in the refrigerator, and I have the pasta or the fettuccine cooking on the stove at the moment. But putting this together is so simple. Super easy ingredients. Butter, heavy cream, Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, and whatever meat you want. We're using that chicken. We'll move over to the stove and get started on that Alfredo sauce. 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to let that melt just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add a good pinch of salt and a good pinch of pepper. We don't need to make a roux. We're just adding flavor. And a pint-sized jar of heavy cream. This will work with store-bought heavy cream, but since I get a gallon of milk every week, we just use what we have. I want to heat that milk up. Then we'll add Parmesan cheese, and then we'll taste it for salt and pepper, and add the pasta. So simple, so fast. One of our bags of home grated Parmesan cheese. It's probably about maybe a cup and a quarter of a cup. Just going to dump that in. We want that to melt in there really well. Just taste it for seasoning. Just needs a little bit more salt and pepper. And that is it. That's how easy it is to make homemade Alfredo sauce. Go ahead. This was 10 ounces of dry pasta that we cooked, drained, and rinsed. And the starch from the pasta will thicken this up beautiful. And that's it. We're done. Now we're going to add our chicken. I should have done that before the pasta, but that's okay. Get that all stirred in. Look at that cheesy goodness. Oh, family. We'll let the residual heat in this pot to warm up that chicken. So we were able to get 3 meals from that one chicken. One of those we actually made a snack that we kept in the freezer. We could take them out for lunch or a snack or just something to hold us over to the next meal. We made that chicken and dumplings. We're going to work on that dumpling recipe, that sourdough discard dumpling recipe. We're going to work on that. And we have fettuccine alfredo with chicken as our last meal. I hope you would take some of these suggestions. Look at your local grocery store, and if you can find whole chickens on sale, buy them. Either leave them whole, put them in your freezer, or do like we do. We cut them up into fryer parts, put them in a vacuum seal bag, and stick it in the freezer for a future meal. We do not buy our protein at regular price. We wait till they go on sale, and we buy more than one, stick it in our freezer. That way, when we're feeding our family, we are no longer feeding our family with full-priced protein. We're feeding our family protein, but we're not paying full price. If you saw the video last week of the Azure haul and the grocery haul, where we saved $10 if we spent $50 or more at Lidl's, I don't look at that as I saved, because money saved means money spending. I'll have $10 to spend it elsewhere. I don't look at it that way. I look at it like I spent $50 and I got this free. I got a 10 pounds of pasta for free. That's how I look at it, because I didn't pay for it. It was free. Stop saying you're saving money. You're getting things for free. When you can find protein on sale, you can take that protein and say, I did not save $10 on protein. I got a certain amount of protein for free. Because in my mind, money saved means that's money I could spend elsewhere. Free food is something I can eat later. Does that make any sense to you? So we got 3 meals from that one chicken that we got on sale for $1.29 a pound. And we're going to be working on that sourdough discard dumpling recipe. We're going to fix that. We're going to get it right. It was edible. It was okay. It was edible. But did we love it? No, we did not. But we will eat it, and we'll eat it until it's gone. The fajita wraps were delicious. We absolutely love those. We put those in the freezer. I took a couple out and put them in the refrigerator, and I'm going to take that to work for lunch tomorrow. The fettuccine alfredo, we already know we like that. It's one of our favorite Italian dishes. So you can take one chicken and get multiple meals to feed your family. Now you got to understand, there is only 2 of us here. There's the husband and myself. So when I cook a meal, our meals are built in with leftovers. So what we have for dinner tonight, we'll have for lunch tomorrow. And if there's enough left over, we'll actually have it for dinner the next night also. We do not throw food away. We do not waste things. We eat it until it's gone. Same with the chicken and dumplings. We'll eat it until it's gone. If you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, please subscribe. We have videos coming out 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Hit that notification bell so you know when the next video will be released, and you can be one of the first people to get it. Until next time, you'll have a blessed day, and I hope you find inspiration in my videos.